Hey guys, welcome back to HyperTora. I've got my Tokyo Treat box here for January 2020. It's a couple of weeks later than we normally come to expect for these boxes now, at least for shipping to the UK, considering the early shipping that this one had. Most likely due to Christmas, so I wasn't too surprised that this one turned up a lot later than the other boxes that we've been getting have been. So I think it's about 2 weeks or just under 2 weeks that this was a little bit later than when we normally get them. So not too bad. If you're getting a box, do expect it maybe delayed over the Christmas period more than usual. So you could be waiting a little while. But let's open this one up and see what's inside. It's a fair amount lighter than some of the boxes we've had in the past. So I'm intrigued to see what's in here. So that's really cool. We've got 2 leaflets in here. So the theme of this month's box is Cozy Winter's Night, which is pretty cool. And then we've got a bunch of items in here. The box is full, even though it's slightly lighter, which is pretty funky. So, in here, what we got? I think this is a Kit Kat competition, so that's just an extra leaflet. And then we got our usual booklet here, so that you can find out what's inside. They've started the book on the other side a bit again, like they did with the anime manga issue we had the other month. So that's pretty cool. So let's get it open and see what we got. So the biggest thing I suppose that's in there that's glaring out at me at the moment is this big Minions banana based snack. So this is, I believe, I can't find it on here, which is the confusing thing. Where does this come from? So, I'm not entirely sure what this is because I can't see it in the booklet. They have changed things before, but usually they put a little leaflet in there. So I'm not entirely sure what that is. So we have some little banana cookies, which is pretty funky. We haven't had them before for Minions. If I do notice it, I'll tell you what it is later. Next up, we have our premium Caribou winter potato chips. I think these ones were teased online. So I'm not entirely sure what makes them winter. Hokkaido potatoes feature a snow-powered assorting. So I think it's going to be just salted chips, but very fine salt possibly. Next up is the other item I've been looking forward to, which I've seen teased online. Is winter Caribou gummies, because I absolutely love gummies. When I saw these online, I thought they were melon, just because of the shape of the cone of the ice there. But obviously these, they say super tasty milky gummies, featuring mango and strawberry flavour. So that'd be quite interesting to try. We don't have many strawberry and mango gummy flavourings, especially mango, come across from Japan sometimes. Next up, that was obviously from our classic box. This is, we got a little key with what looks like some little Smarties in it. These usually are chocolate. And this is from our classic box. This is keyring chocolates. So we've had little chocolates like this before. I've never seen it in the shape of a key. So that's new and interesting. Next up, we have I forgot the name of these. Taiyaki. So bubbly rainbow Taiyaki. So these are from the premium box. I do wonder whether this is going to taste like bubble gum since it's bubbly rainbow. So I'm not entirely sure. Doesn't quite say in the booklet what the flavouring is. So I'll have to try that one out in a bit. But it's pretty funky. We've got different colours on there for the rainbow. Next up, we've got some Hotcake, what look like little pancakes, which are pretty cool. So these are from our classic box. They're maple hotcakes. So I'm imagining that's a bit of maple syrup. Makes me think of Canada when we say maple syrup rather than Japan. But yeah, they look like nice fluffy pancakes with a little century filling in there. So we'll open them up in a bit and see what they're like. Oh, we got some marshmallows. These are pretty funky. So this is from our classic box again. It says colourful baby marshmallows. I don't know if there's anything special about these in the flavouring. There's several different colours in there. I wouldn't be surprised if all just sort of ordinary marshmallows but different colourings. That's quite nice. We haven't had marshmallows for a while in Tokyo Treat. Next up, we have a little packet here. with some little sugary stacks. These look very familiar. We've had these before, but I think it's been a very, very long time since I've seen them. So they're almost like little sugar crystals. So these are from the classic box. These are Night Sky Star Candies. So they're pretty funky. I believe they're mainly pure sugar, just from memory. So expect a bit of a sugar high after that one. Our next item, we have some, I think they look like biscuits in the shape of different animals, because we've got cow, duck, and all sorts of things on the front of this box. This is from the premium box. So these are just described as animal biscuits. And they're milk biscuits. There's a lot of milk items in this box, so that's quite interesting. There. We haven't had them before, so that's nice to see. Next up, we have, this could be our DIY candy, or it's just a cola chewing candy. So this is, Dengue Hunter DIY kit, if I pronounce that right. It's cola flavoured electric eel, slice and dice this tasty treat and squeeze cola sauce over it. So that looks like it's going to be an easy little one. You just break up some sort of, almost shaped a bit like licorice, but I'm hoping it's not licorice, candy, and you can just put some cola sauce over that. So that's pretty funky. We've not had a DIY like that before, or we've had easy ones but with sauce, but I don't think we've had a cola one in that way before. Next up, we have some Choco Cakes. So these are from the classic box. So we've got a double pack, there's 2 of them in here. And it says amazingly light and fluffy texture. These always remind me, in the UK, we used to get little chocolate cakes like these with marshmallow in the centre. So I'm quite interested to see what's in the centre of these ones. Next up, we have a diamond ring candy. We've seen these in the Tokyo Treat boxes several times before. This is from the classic box. Nothing massively new with that one. I think they chuck it in occasionally just to fill up a little bit of space. We don't have them every month, but they do come around several times a year. Next up, we have a giant Cablico. So we do occasionally see these. These are pretty cool. Milk giant Cablico, if I can pronounce that right. They're like giant ice cream cones, which is always interesting. But it has a kind of, they tend to either have chocolate or marshmallowy stuff in the centre. So this says about marshmallow, the airy marshmallow and creamy milk flavour. But the picture actually looks, on the side, looks a little bit more like chocolate. So it'd be interesting to see what's actually inside that. Next up, we've got our Amiibo, our cheese Amiibo. This is usually from the classic box. So I believe cheese must just be the flavour this month. So this is just more of your traditional plain Amiibo with cheese on it, compared to all the funky flavours we've had recently. Oh, next up, this must be some kind of hard candy. So this is Little Mikan Mints. So they're actually mints in here. So usually in Japan they sit under a kotsu and eat mikans. So obviously I'm assuming mikans is little oranges. So it'd be nice if they were orange flavoured rather than mint, considering the packaging. Maybe they are. Maybe the mint's just to describe the shape of them. It's pretty funky. I'm a little bit disappointed if they are mint and not orange, considering the packaging. And next up, we have another marshmallow. These are pretty funky. There's several marshmallows in one. So this is from our classic box. So I absolutely love marshmallows. I haven't had marshmallows in a little while, so that's a really nice one. We have sort of marshmallows like this in the UK, though they're kind of bigger wines. So that's pretty funky to get to try some big Japanese marshmallows. And then next up, we have some Lipton iced tea bags, or iced tea. So this will be our drink for the month, unfortunately not in a bottle. So we had the option between 2, which we could have got, which was Lipton Tropical Charge Tea or Security. We've got the Tropical Charge. From what I can see here, we've got some peach and some mango on the drink there. And there's 12 pyramid tea bags in there. So that's pretty funky. We've had the Sakura ones before, so it's quite nice that we don't have the a repeat of that in this box. I don't know if that's deliberate or whether it's just randomly put in there and we're lucky, or whether they've actually deliberately looked at who's been subscribed before and tried to give them the different box, which is quite nice. So that is everything that's come out of that box. So now that we've gone through that, I can see where the cookies are coming in. It's character cookies. We have everything else in here, which is pretty cool. So the reason I can understand the character cookies, or I couldn't find them, is the character cookies. The Minions, it's right at the back. There's probably about 4 different packets of character cookies on there that we could have had. I think Winnie the Pooh or Pikachu or some Buzz Lightyear based ones from Toy Story were sort of the other options there. So that's pretty funky. We have got everything in the box. It's not an item that I couldn't find, or just an extra one, which is pretty cool. So I'm trying to think where to start with this. I'm going to leave the drink towards the end because obviously I'll open it up and show you. But to make this, I've got to go and boil some water. So we've got some little diamond tea bags in there, which is pretty funky, which is pretty nice. So we'll have a look at them a bit later on again. So first up, we have our character cookies. I want to open these up. So we haven't really had these kind of character cookies before. Or not character cookies, but animal biscuits. They're pretty cool. So we've got a nice big packet there. And on the inside, we've got lots of different biscuits in different shapes. They are quite moist, so they're not dry, and they've got the little animal written on them. They're nice and moist, and I'd say they taste a bit like milk chocolate, or white chocolate, even though it just says milk biscuits. So they're pretty nice. They're quite sweet, which is I don't think we've had biscuits like that before, so that's something new. It's really nice. Next up, we have our Choco Cakes. So in the UK, we have things like this, a bit like we call them wagon wheels, which are sort of a double biscuit and marshmallow in the centre. I'm not sure what's in the centre of these, and I don't know if Americans have something like a moon pie or something similar to this. So the centre of that literally is cake, a very soft sponge, and the outside's sort of not a very milky chocolate. It's a bit more of a darker chocolate, but certainly not dark chocolate. So it's still quite nice and enjoyable. Different. I don't think I've had a chocolate cake like that before. I'm used to having that kind of thing with marshmallow in the centre. So onto some actual marshmallows we have. So we have our little packet of marshmallows here, if I can open them up. There we go. So, can't smell any sort of difference in flavours there. But we've got a bunch of marshmallows here in different colours. Standard marshmallows, I can't taste any different flavourings in them, but they're really nice. They're actually not overly sweet, but have a nice sweet hint to them. So let's try out our other large marshmallow. I absolutely love packages like this because I can try and pop them, which I used to do as a kid with the kind of version of these we have in the UK. That's really nice, and you've got a nice rainbow colour there. It's not as sweet as the little tiny marshmallows, which I wasn't quite expecting, but it's nice nonetheless. And then next up we have our Caplico ice cream shaped candy, which the packaging says airy marshmallow, though I think it looks more like chocolate. So we have our little ice cream cone there, and then we got an airy bubbly top, and to me that should be chocolate. So yeah, that's nice airy white chocolate on the top there. I don't know why they say marshmallow in the booklet, because that's certainly chocolate and this is marshmallow further down. But that's pretty nice. We have Aero bars in the UK, which are chocolate bars with these little air bubbles in the centre. So it's pretty similar to that, but in white chocolate. So that's really nice. Next up, we have our Christmas winter potato chips. I don't know what they are. It's January's box, so it's not technically Christmas. It's our New Year winter chips. They taste like just normal, or they smell like normal salted chips. I can't see much in the way of powder on these, and I can't see too much at the bottom of this packet in terms of powder. But nonetheless, let's try these out. They're really nice potato chips. They're really Moorish. I absolutely love just plain salted potato chips sometimes. So they're really nice. I don't quite get the powdered salt that's meant to make this a kind of winter potato chip. I don't see much in the way of salt in there. Potato chip's nicely salted, but it doesn't stand out very much. Next up, we have our giant Minion character cookies. And what's really nice about these is there are lots of individual packages in here, so I don't have to open them all up at once. So we get little cookies, but we have a lot of cookies that turn up that look like this, but different packages, different flavours, different themes and different companies. It's pretty cool. It smells really nice and banana-y, which is something I don't think we've had with this kind of thing before. That's really nice. It tastes just like a bit of a... I saw the inside and expected it to go a bit chocolatey. It's almost a bit like banana with a very subtle hint of chocolate, but mainly banana-y, which is really nice. And I quite enjoy that kind of banana flavour. Sometimes it's like your artificial banana milkshake kind of flavouring. It's a bit like sometimes you get melon flavouring and stuff. It doesn't actually taste a lot like a fresh watermelon or fresh banana. I think they kind of get that flavouring from sort of very concentrated flavourings. Next up, we have our Hotcakes, which to me look like little pancakes, which are absolutely amazing. And that centre must be, I think it said maple. Yeah, so it's almost oozing slightly. That's quite nice. A really fluffy, airy pancake, considering they're probably made to last a bit of time on the shelf. And it's not very runny maple, not like the maple syrup I've tried when I was in the States earlier in the year. But if you're not keen on maple syrup, that might be a little bit odd for you. Some people might find it a little bit sweet. But nonetheless, it's quite nice. Next up, actually I will leave these towards the end just in case they are mint. We have our diamond ring. So this is our little ring. It doesn't fit on my finger, unfortunately. Probably meant more for young people. But just looking at that and the taste of that, it's nice and cola flavoured, which means I will definitely finish that later because cola flavouring is one of my favourite kind of candies like that. It's pretty cool. Next up, we have our umaibo. Now that I'm destroying my palate by going from sweet to savoury and back to sweet again in a minute. So, our usual umaibo shape, we've got our little stick with the little hollow centre in it, if you've not seen them before. They're like little corn puff snacks. And this one smells particularly cheesy. I don't know if anyone else in the world has them, but in the UK we have crisps or potato chips, or chips which are a bit like that, but puffed with cheese on them, called Whatsits. That tastes just like a Whatsit. But yeah, next up we have our Sugary Stars. So they're little crystals. They're kind of sparkly slightly. I don't know if that quite shows up on the camera, but we've got a few different colours there, which probably won't or shouldn't affect the flavouring of these. They're usually made of pure sugar. They're very sweet. I can't taste any other flavour in there. That is pretty much literally pure sugar in a crystal. Next up, we have our key of little chocolate Smartie-like things. These are almost a little bit like pill packets. So if you wanted to, I guess you could just push these through like a little tablet. I'm not sure you'd want to encourage kids to do that. Just generally from pills, you probably want to just rip the foil off. But they are just like what we have in the UK, little Smarties, which are sugar-coated chocolates. And they're really nice. The chocolate is a slightly different recipe, I think, from what you'd expect if you had Smarties before. So it does taste a little bit, maybe slightly a little bit darker from what you used to if you had Smarties that are made in the UK. Next up, we have our Taiyaki. So what bubbly rainbow flavour is supposed to be, I'm not entirely sure. This is dreamy double berry teriyaki. So double flavour might be because there's different colours on each side. And oh, it smells quite nice. Definitely double berry. I can smell the berries from that. And it's a really nice enticing smell. You can almost use it as a candle smell from the smell of that, which is really nice. So these kind of things, obviously these are sort of candy form. If you actually go to Japan and you manage to attend a festival at the right time of year, then there'll usually be stalls where they make fresh versions of these with red bean paste in the centre or custard in the centre, and they're really nice, fresh, sort of I wouldn't quite say the candies, more like pastries, but they're really nice. So let's try this one out. They usually have chocolate in the side when they're made as candy. That's really nice. I'd almost say it's definitely some raspberry in there, possibly a hint of strawberry, but I think the raspberry sticks out the most. That's really nice. So next up we have gummies, as we get towards the end, and I absolutely love gummies. So we have raspberry. It's almost shaped like, I don't know if, I think it's deliberately shaped maybe to look a bit like an ice cone, although the picture looks more like little wafers. They're really nice, and the mango ones look exactly the same. So the raspberry I think had maybe more larger grains of sugar on it. The mango one in there is really nice as well. I can see me eating them very quickly after I finish this recording. Next up, before the mints, we're actually going to do our DIY candy. So, I don't think we need to open the booklet up to the different points in here. And very conveniently, we have a little knife in here as well. So, in the packet, we have our little stick. It smells of cola, which we can cut up. We have a little cocktail stick, which I assume is useful for like serving this up. And then a little knife, which confuses me a little bit. We've got kind of a pointy side there and then a serrated side on the other side. I'm not totally sure why we have that. And then we've got our little sauce sachet. So this is usually best poured out into the tray. And you do want to be careful with these because they are pretty much a very sugary syrup. So if you get them on your hands, they're not going to come off anytime soon. And then we can cut this up into a couple of slices, like so. Got a pink centre in these. And then just dip it in the cola. That's how much sugar's in there. It's like a strand. Doesn't want to separate. Okay. That's really nice. And that syrup's almost like eating a Coca-Cola syrup, or Coca-Cola if it's been had all the moisture taken out, so it's just the syrup left, which is quite nice. It's quite sugary. If you're not good with high sugar items, that probably isn't the best thing for you. But if you've got a sweet tooth like me, it's really nice. So next up we have our mints, which I'm hoping aren't actually mint. So the top comes off these. These are orange in colour. They're little balls, which is quite interesting. So I haven't seen these before. I'm hoping these are orange. Quite strong too. So they do have the orangey or Mikan flavouring to them, rather than mint. So they're really nice. They're quite a strong burst of flavour if you bite straight into them straight away. So really nice. I think I've had similar things before, but not in the Japanese boxes. So that's like new. But yeah, let's try out this drink. So I'll go boil some water and I'll be back in a second. Okay, so I'm back. I have my nice mug of boiling hot water here and our Lipton tea bags for our tropical charge tea. I did notice while I was looking at this, obviously we've got the mango and the peach on the front. This may be some sort of orange or lemon on the back. There's also some strawberries in the sort of description on the back, and maybe also banana. So I'm not entirely sure what all the different fruit that are in this are. But nonetheless, let's try this out. So we got a little tea bag, which is on a string. And so we have a lot of tea here in the UK. So usually we use just standard tea, most people, with milk. But I don't believe tropical or flavoured teas like this are designed to have milk added to them. But that smells really nice and tropical. So the Sakura one we've had before. I think I had a few tea bags left. I'm not sure if I do now anymore. Tasted a lot like the Sakura leaf, which comes with, when you get Sakura mochi. The mochi is actually wrapped in a Sakura leaf, which is a cherry tree leaf, which can be a bit of an acquired taste, but that's really nice smell. It's a very subtle hint when you drink it though. It tastes mostly like tea. It's got a hint of tropical there. I don't know whether it'd be better when it's cooled down a little bit. But it smells certainly really nice with the tropical smell to it. So that might just be my taste buds after all of the sweet candies. But that's everything in this box. I hope you liked the video and I hope you liked all the items in this box. Do go down below and comment down below what you thought of all these different items. What your favourite was, if you got the box, what your favourite framing was. I hope you also all had a great Christmas, because we're between Christmas and New Year's now, and I hope you all have a good New Year's. Hopefully we'll be back sometime in January with my next box, which is due to ship hopefully in the next few days, and hopefully with the Christmas rush over, won't arrive as late as this one, but certainly could still be caught up in the system. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Please do hit the like down below if you enjoyed the video, and please do hit the subscribe button as well if you want to see more unboxing videos in the future. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next time. And have a great New Year's.